Okay, we continue with incorporate changes into schedule. Okay, throughout a project, changes may occur that impact the schedule. Changes might be initiated by customer, project team, or might be the result of an anticipated occurrence. Okay, changes requested early in the project may have less an impact on a schedule and budget than those requested later in the project. So make sure if you want to request for any changes, make change at the early of the project, not make change at the end of the project. Okay, when the customer requests a change, the contractor or project team should estimate the impact on the project schedule, budget, and then obtain customer approval before proceed. Okay, if the customer approve the proposed revision to the project schedule and budget, then any additional activity, revised estimated duration, and revised estimated resource and associated costs should be incorporated into the project schedule and budget. Okay. With respect to the project schedule, changes can result in the addition or deletion of activities, re-squeezing of activities, changes to estimate duration for specific activities, or a new required completion time for the project. So bear in mind, if you do even though a little change for the project, they will have a big impact in the project for the entire project. Okay, update project schedule. An update project schedule should be generated regularly then forecast whether the project will finish ahead of or behind its required completion time or on time. So bear in mind that your project may be finished early, may be late finish, or may be finished on time. Once data have been collected on the actual finish time of completed activities and the effect of any project changes, an update project schedule can be calculated. Okay, earlier start and finish time for the remaining uncompleted activities are calculated by working forward through the network. Okay, they are based on the actual finish time of completed activities and the estimated duration of the uncompleted activities. The latest start and finish time for the uncompleted activities are calculated by working backward through the network. An important part of updating project schedule is determining if any changes have occur in the critical path. Okay, what is critical path? Critical path is the longest path in the network diagram. If the longest path you have and you have changed the number, you make it longer, so maybe it will affect for the entire project. Okay, next is control schedule. Schedule control involve 4 steps, which is analyzing the schedule to determine which area may need corrective action. Number 2, deciding what specific corrective action should be taken. Number 3, revising the plan to incorporate the chosen corrective action. Number 4, recalculating the schedule to evaluate the effect of the planned corrective action. Okay, if the planned corrective action do not result in acceptable schedule, this step need to be repeat. Okay, a concentrated effort to accelerate project must be applied to the path with negative slack. So as we practiced just now, you remember the negative 8 slack after we adjust the table from 65 days to 55 days, the negative 8 become positive 2, right? Okay, so whenever we want to accelerate the project progress, must be applied with the path with negative slack. Okay, activities that are near term, that is in the progress or to be started in the immediate future, or activities that have long estimate duration. Just now we choose the activities that have long estimate duration. Okay, the amount of slack should determine the priority which these concentrated effort are applied. A change in the estimate duration of any activity on that path will cause a corresponding change in the slack for that path and may shift the critical path. Okay, and eliminating negative slack by reducing duration of activities will involve a trade-off in the form of an increase in cost or reduction in the scope of the project. So you need to remember, any changes you do in the project, it will increase the cost or reduce the scope of the project. If you do any changes, the project will be not the same as the first time you plan. It will increase the cost and therefore it will reduce the scope of the project. Okay, this is your last slide, okay, which is scheduling for information system development. Scheduling the development of an information system is a challenging process. Scheduling is often done in a haphazard manner, and as a result, a large number of information system projects are finished much later than originally promised or never finished at all. So most of the information system project finished late than the time it stated, or it never finished at all. So among the common problem that often push information system development project beyond their required completion time are failure to identify all user requirement, failure to identify user requirement property, continuing growing of scope, project scope, underestimating learning curve for new software package, incompatible hardware, logical design flaws, poor selection of software, failure to select the best design strategy, data incompatibility issue, failure to perform all phases of the SDLC. So this is all the common problem in the information system development scheduling. Okay, that's all for today. Okay, in this chapter I will include, as usual, wrap for chapter 5 and student exercise. Okay, make sure you do the exercise in the student exercise. Okay, this is the example of information system example. Okay, I open it for you. Wait. Okay, so this is your student exercise. You need to study this example to understand overall of this chapter. Okay, this chapter is quite long chapter. So here you have this list of activity, the immediate predecessor, and estimated duration. What is immediate predecessor? Predecessor is the activity previously before the activity. For example, activity number 1, gather data. It don't have any previous activity because it activity number 1. Okay, activity number 2, study feasibility, also no immediate predecessor because maybe it start together with activity number 1. Okay, while for activity number 3, prepare problem definition report, the immediate predecessor is activity number 1 and activity number 2. Okay, so in order you to understand this chapter, you go through this. Okay, next. Okay, this is the, you see here. Okay, activity number 1 and activity number 2 is we do it in a parallel. Then activity number 3, then activity number 5, and activity number 4 and number 5 also in parallel. So this is example for you. You can print it out and you can go through it one by one. Okay, it already have the ES time, EF time, so it will help you to calculate. Hopefully it will help you in gain your understanding. Okay, this is for LS. Okay, we calculate it from backward to, from here you have 50 days, so you put here 50 days and go on. Okay, this is the schedule table, so every single number that you calculate from the network diagram previously, put in this table. Okay, then we have your critical path. So here your critical path. And here is example of actual finish. When you update the network, this is you have the actual finish one. Okay, the actual finish, you no need to calculate, no need to recalculate. Okay, you just continue from the activity number 7. Okay, so you can see here, you just continue from activity number 7 here. Okay, no data here, you can see no data here because we call it AF actual finish. It actually finish, you no need to calculate, you no need to recalculate. Okay, just continue from activity number 7. Okay, so the conclusion, project management information system, most system perform scheduling function, calculate at the click. It means that whatever you are doing now, so whenever you are doing a real project, okay, you no need to calculate it one by one. Okay, you just do it by one click. You need to install Microsoft project. Okay, so your assignment now is you need to install Microsoft project, then you need to play around with the software. Okay, make sure. Okay, everybody need to install Microsoft project. Okay, how ayo. Okay, so everybody need to install Microsoft project. Okay, Microsoft project. So by installing Microsoft project and you can play around with the software, it will help you in order to do your next group assignment. So make sure you understand how to calculate, how to use this Microsoft software project. Okay, hopefully it will help you in doing your next assignment. So be prepared for your next assignment. Okay, that's all for today. Don't forget to finish your tutorial, don't forget to do this exercise, actually just to do your revision from this exercise. Okay, that's all. Good luck.